Hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. Um, Something that I wanted to talk about today that I saw in another girl's YouTube video, that someone that I kind of look up to really inspires me, is Aaliyah's Face. Well, love her video, love her down. But she was talking about in the video how she got this from another person about this theory, this mentality of, if be vegan but eat a piece of bacon as well. And you may be like, that contradicts itself because you're trying to eat no meat, but and yet you're going to eat a piece of bacon. It's going to throw off your whole process, your whole goal of being vegan. Sometimes I feel like we as humans, ourselves, myself included, we can be a little too hard on ourselves about goals and dreams and things that we want to accomplish in life, that we think that everything has got to be black and white, and we're not appreciating even the gray area of stuff, that balance where you may have a little black and you may have a little white, that gray area. What I thought, and I really liked the whole idea of be vegan but eat bacon. Switching your brain and your mentality to more so focusing on progress rather than perfection. Okay, I want to be vegan. I want to work. I feel like this theory of be vegan and eat bacon applies to a lot of people's goals, whatever you want to be in life, anything in life, because absolutely nothing in life is going to be perfect. Okay, I want to be vegan. I want to take care of my health. I want to, maybe it's better for your health, for your body, for your mental, your emotional state to eat healthy, to be vegan. But man, today I want a hamburger. Today I want a piece of bacon. I want a nice, juicy steak. I want a nice piece of a cake, a cupcake, a brownie, a cookie, something like that. Okay, so eat your cupcake, eat your brownie, eat your bacon, eat your hamburger, your nice juicy steak, and it's totally fine. Like, for example, okay, you want to be healthy, you want to be vegan. Like I said, I want a real nice piece of bacon. Eat your bacon, eat your piece of bacon, and I feel like sometimes we tell ourselves, or we will hold ourselves to the standard, well, I'm not vegan anymore, or I have to start all over again, or I wasn't able to accomplish whatever goal or whatever, anything that you're trying to accomplish in life, because you took one step back. You kind of, you know what I mean. And you don't have to do that. You could just start right back up the next day or the next moment, telling yourself, okay, I'm gonna continue to be vegan, even though I ate a hamburger, even though I ate a piece of bacon, I had a cupcake, I had a brownie, I had a cookie. And you can be both things. Like I said, we're living too black and white. And some things are just not that way, of the whole black and white one. Excuse me. There has to be a balance, is what I'm trying to say. Living on one side too much, living on the other side too much. Maybe you want a cupcake, but also you want a salad and you want to be healthy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I feel like this can apply to so many areas. You continuing to wait for perfection or wait for the perfect moment, or holding yourself to this perfect standard that you're going to make mistakes and you're not going to follow through with it every single time. It's never going to be perfect. And if you're waiting for something to be perfect, or you're waiting for you to make the right decision every single time, it's never going to happen, because life is not even perfect. And you're not perfect either. So this whole mentality of be vegan but eat bacon, it kind of allows you to have somewhat of a balance and live life and enjoy whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in life. Enjoy the process rather than being so structured on yourself, so strict, so have this idea of perfectionism that you have to do it perfectly when there is no perfect thing in life. And I apply this to where we put ourselves in boxes, and the boxes are endless. The way that you dress, the way that you speak, the way that you talk, the way that the foods that you eat, the way that you carry yourself, the way the shoes that you have. What else? Where your hair, makeup, what else? Like I said, clothes, shoes, pants, cars, nails, hair. Already said that. And I just feel like we put ourselves in a lot of boxes, and so many people are attached to those boxes that they put on themselves. Maybe even boxes that they didn't even put on themselves that other people put on them, and living up to those expectations, or even that perfected expectations people have of you or that you have of yourself, to the point where you're not even doing it for the joy of you doing it anymore, the progress. You're doing it so that this whole perfectionism kind of thing, this, the boxes can be so harsh that you put yourself in, or other people put you in. And one day, like I said, you want to eat a hamburger, that's completely fine. The next day, go back to your routine of eating salad every day and being healthy. Okay, one day I want to dress like this. Okay, the next day I want to change the way that I dress. One day I want to change my hair. Okay, the next day I want to change my hair to another style. One day I want to, what is it? One day I want to change my shoes. I don't want to wear the same shoes anymore. Change your shoes. And that's completely fine. Do a 180. Life doesn't have to be one or the other all the time. You can mix and match it up, and kind of even essentially breaking yourself out of that box that maybe you put on yourself or that someone else put on you, so that you have more of a balance and more of a just a mentality where you're a little bit not so structured and you have a little bit of freedom in whatever it is you decide, or whatever it is you decide, and also whatever it is you want to accomplish in life, and whatever it is you want to be. And honestly, this mentality is also, some is better than none. Making, like I said, progress, taking those steps, manageable steps to a changed lifestyle, a different way of thinking, a different way of behaving. You're not going to be perfect every single time or on your journey there, but you know what? You may take some steps back, but then get right back into it and taking those steps forward again. Continuing that, like I said, that process, rather than perfection where you misstep, or you take a step back and then you quit it overall because it's not perfect anymore. Getting yourself out of that harsh box, and just being more so focused on the progress rather than the perfection. And this vegan, be vegan but eat bacon, I feel like this mentality, like I said, it's more focused on progress rather than perfection. And it may even help you if you have perfectionism too, with this whole idea that if it's not perfect, I got to start all over, or if it's not perfect, I'm not good enough, or if it's not perfect, I don't like it anymore, I don't know what I was thinking, or I'm not good enough for this. You got to get yourself out of that mentality and just be more so focused on the progress rather than being perfect. Because along the way, if you're trying to be perfect all the time and what you want to do in life and how you look and how you eat and how you do your hair and everything, you're going to lose the meaning behind it and the joy that you have behind it and the reason why. Because then you might start doing it for a whole nother reason of this whole perfectionism of whether it is you're trying to be perfect for yourself, whether it is you're trying to be perfect for other people. Like I always say, people aren't even happy with themselves. So in turn, they're not going to be happy with the decisions and things that you do. We just have a lot of people that have high expectations on themselves and they're unhappy, and then they force those expectations onto you, this whole perfectionism thing. Just be more concerned about progress rather than perfectionism. I would rather, what was I going to say? Setting those strict rules on yourself will stop you from reaching your goals, will stop you from having, whether it is that healthy lifestyle that you want, eating right, whatever it is, with any goal that you have in your life. When having those harsh standards, being in that harsh box, getting out of that mentality, and like I said, being vegan but eat bacon, I just feel like that is just a excellent way to look at life, an excellent different perspective, a different lens of how to look at life, make more life more enjoyable, and that you're out of that box and more space to roam around, that balance, be free, and giving yourself a break too, not being upset because maybe you take a step back, or maybe you do something that, like I said, you ate a piece of bacon, you ate a hamburger, you ate a cupcake, you ate a brownie when you're trying to be healthy. Giving yourself some grace, giving yourself some understanding, some empathy, giving yourself a break, and maybe tomorrow get right back at it, because it's absolutely fine that you take a step back, that you maybe don't keep up with that harsh box that you're living in, but then you realize, like I said, the progress is, be more focused on the progress rather than the perfection of it. And it also, like I said, it gives you permission to do something imperfectly, which is incredibly free. For me, when I started doing stuff imperfectly, getting stuff done or doing stuff imperfectly was better than doing it perfectly and never getting it accomplished, because of those harsh boxes that I had on myself or that people put on you. And it's just very, the joy and the relaxation and the freedom that you get from that, for no longer having those harsh boxes and those expectations on yourself, and giving yourself grace even when you take a step back and you don't want to eat healthy today anymore. You want a piece of cake. You don't want to dress like this. Don't want to do your hair like this. You don't want to talk like this today. It is just a very, it's just the freedom that it kind of, the freedom that you get from that is very, very just, I feel like there's a better word than amazing, but I can't come up with a better word right now. But it's just an amazing feeling that you give yourself, and just a stress free, relaxing. It's like the load is taken off your shoulders, because now I'm not doing it because things are black and white anymore. I'm doing it because of a balance and living life kind of in that gray area, and not holding myself to those ridiculously high standards of perfectionism, being more so focused on the process, the progress as well, rather than being perfect. Because perfect, it does not exist, and it's a standard that will drive you crazy when you continue to hold yourself to it. A mentality that will drive you crazy when you continue to hold yourself to it. But that was just something that I wanted to share today. I think we just need to give ourselves more grace, give yourself a break, and you know what? Be vegan, but eat a piece of bacon. Be vegan, but eat a cupcake. Be vegan, but eat a brownie. All those things. Don't be so harsh on yourself of this black and white. Sometimes life is in the gray area, like I said. And life is a lot more freeing when it's in that gray area and you have that balance of both sides of everything. But that's something that I just wanted to share today. I hope everyone has a fantastic day today. It's a beautiful day, daylight savings time. The sun's starting to stay out a little lighter. Enjoy yourself. Go for a walk. Do something fun outside. And I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your day. And I'll see you guys next time.